before I get started, this crazy man came up to me yesterday as I was trying to get into the on the flight, and he said, "I have to take a picture with you because you're going to be in SaaStock." I actually think I see him right back over there. So, actually, the person that I really want to speak to you today about is this man here, and the picture that you see next to him, which is specifically around how this put him into being one of the mathematical greats in history. Abraham Wald was an immigrant from Austria in the 1930s. He came over to the US, migrating away in the 30s as a result of the Nazi invasion of Austria. As an individual who had mathematical experience, he joined a group called the SRG, which is the Statistical Research Group. They were specifically designed to help with the war efforts against the enemies. One of his first tasks at the SRG was to figure out this problem. And the problem was that the military came to him and they said, "We are getting too many of our planes shot down. These are where all the bullet holes are, and we need you to help us figure out how much armor that we need to put on each of these planes. Too much armor, and then the planes are too heavy, too much fuel, and they're more likely to get shot down. Not enough, and you still got the same problem." The military also provided Abraham with this set of data, and they basically thought that they had the answer to the question, which was just tell us how much armor we need specifically and how much that we need to put on for our jets to go out. But the way that Abraham approached this problem was entirely different, and it actually floored the military as a result of his response, just so because it was so beautifully elegant. And it was this: the armor goes where the bullet holes aren't. Why? Because those are the planes that are not coming back for them to figure out what is going on. At ZoomInfo, for the last 15 years, that's exactly what we've been doing. We've been focused on supporting our customers, identifying where those growth opportunities are, and trying to figure out which bullet holes to go after. So when we look at our revenue operations system, we really go from end to end, delivering our services to over 30,000 customers worldwide, and over 3,000 customers in EMEA alone. We power everything from sales to data, marketing, and talent. In a privacy-first approach, we are supporting these customers figure out what their go-to-market plays are and how they can execute it with the power of our data. So let's talk about how companies scale their approach today. When I speak to companies today through our business and previously as well, what you tend to find is that all of the go-to-market strategy is enforced upon the sales team themselves, from targeting all the way to execution and results. The tech stack is effectively there as a binary model to basically try and fuel what those salespeople are doing. But the reality is that this isn't scalable. If you think about all of that information sat in one person's head, how is a company expected to go and deliver that time and time again? You've got so much human error here, compounded by the number of sales individuals that you have across your business. It just doesn't work. In reality, what you should be thinking about is powering your sales teams with an operations layer, which is foundational for those sales teams to stand on the shoulders of. Take that responsibility of the science out of the seller's hands, give that to an empowered operations team to be able to allow the sales teams to go out to market and focus on what they do best, which is open up conversations, close deals. So when you think about building your go-to-market playbook, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what a play is. A play is a discrete set of motions that you have been put together that enable you to access specific ICPs that you're trying to target. There could be one type of individual or multiple types of individual, depending on the customers that you're looking to target. And the question really is that why don't your playbooks scale? The reason mostly why they don't scale is because most of those are sat in the heads of your sales reps. And the way that companies generally try to solve that problem is by simply adding more headcount to the business, and that headcount gets a quota, and that quota then is expected to deliver growth. But in reality, we should be doing and focus on what is happening on the right here, where you are looking to sweat every single dollar out of your sales reps by driving productivity with enriched and enhanced data for them to go to market with. What ends up happening is that your customer, you as individuals or companies, go out with a very expensive CRM that continues to add data upon data layers upon data layers, and effectively becomes a very expensive reporting tool, as opposed to a tool that can be used to deliver insight to your sales team, so that they can wake up in the morning every single day and figure out what to be doing on that day. As opposed to what effectively happens is that them spending 2/3 of their time not selling. We recently spoke to a customer through our ZI Labs team who recently put together a $100 million pack that they spend £100 million on people, £10 million on their CRM, and $80,000 on their data. Just think about the disparity between the amount of people, how much they're spending on people, versus the amount that they're spending on data. When questioned or when asked why they are spending so little on data, the answer really was, their expectation was that salespeople should be doing all of this themselves. So, if you're looking to transform your business today, what is it that you can do that's going to enable you to start driving productivity to ensure that every deal, every lead in your pipeline is being worked the correct way? We're going to talk about 3 things: expand, transform, and fuel. Expanding your playbook is really, really important. Generally, when we are speaking to customers, they are working on 4 to 5 sales plays at any one time. Pretty large sales plays, quite broad, trying to build them into a single funnel. In reality, with the right tools, you should be looking at between 100 to 200 attributes that you can drive specific sales plays on, that are hyper-targeted and extremely relevant for sales, for opportunities that are ready to buy. Powered with intent data, this is going to give you the right signals to be able to understand when the right time is, what the right deal is, and what the right solution is for that customer. We were just speaking outside earlier today at the booth where someone came up to us and asked us a specific question about understanding their playbook. It was a great conversion insight that they had. It was this, that they have identified that QuickBooks Online, customers that are using QuickBooks Online, are their highest converting customers. How can I figure out what customers are using QuickBooks Online? And I showed him on our platform, which was quite simple. Our technographic data enabled him to be able to specifically target those customers that are using QuickBooks Online, then be able to then give them a full graphic of who those potential companies are. Those potential companies will then be able to give you a list of contacts that are the most likely buyers for that sales play. Idea number 2. I talked about this earlier. It's about leveraging your operations team across both marketing and sales. Focus on this. Invest money in your operations. Identify where you need to be able to support building those plays that should look almost identical, very similar to how marketing campaigns are built with the marketing teams, where they are pushing out hundreds and hundreds of different campaigns based on content, either for display or search. This is going to give your sellers time back to be able to really go out to the market and just focus on selling the deal. And the final idea here is about fueling your data strategy. Again, generally, the core attributes you can see there are probably about 3 or 4 that companies go to market with. But actually, there's probably closer to 15 or 20 attributes that you can probably work with to be able to start identifying what the right customer profile is. And as you can see, the green going down to the red, this is the degradation of the data as you get into those various different types of company attributes. That data expires very, very quickly, depending on what it is that you're trying to drive information from. So this requires regular enrichment and cleansing for you to be able to give the right data to your sales teams to go and act upon it. So I want to switch gears a little bit now. I've spoken to you about 3 ideas that you can actually take back today and start thinking about how you can put that into your business. Now I want to talk to you about DEAL. DEAL is our sales methodology that we use, which stands for Discover, Educate, Align, and Lock. Every single salesperson at ZoomInfo is trained on this specific sales methodology. The reason why I love this is because it's sort of its simplicity. It gives all the sellers a clear way to be able to go and identify the opportunities, and it gives sales leaders a very clear way to be able to challenge and question the integrity of each deal that they've got in the pipeline. We know that methodology works with our own data. We actually took this to market and tested what call structure actually does to be able to convert as opportunities to customers. And what we recognized is that all the greatest sellers have a clear structure and approach on every single email, every single phone call, every single face-to-face meeting. And finally, our secret sauce. This is the one thing that I really, really want to share with you that probably I'm not sure has been shared before. But we operate a very flat structure. And that means we get emails like this from Henry, our CEO. He gives us the opportunity to exercise his experience and his authority within the business to be able to ask him to help, whether it be from the smallest SMB business to the largest enterprise customer. He is willing to care for those customers the same way that he did 15 years ago. And we use this opportunity regularly. Why? Because we know that Henry understands the business better than any of us, and we use that to our advantage. And the best of our sales team actually understand how delegation works across our senior executive team as well. This culture has been built all the way from Henry down to our other senior executives as well. So, to finish, I wanted to share with you a quick QR code. We tested it before. I hope that it works. That should take you to a form page, which is going to put you into one of the sales motions that I've just spoken about. So be warned if you get a phone call. You may get one. Separate to that, my email address is on there, and my LinkedIn profile as well. So if you do have any questions or you want to reach out to me directly, please feel free to. Thank you very much.